Hello class. So we're going to be applying Gauss-Jordan elimination on this matrix. So as a reminder, Gauss-Jordan elimination would end in this form. We have ones along the diagonal, zeros in the corners, and then your solution in the last column, assuming it's a consistent system. So Gauss-Jordan will get us to this case. And we're going to use the calculator to do this. Now, the first thing I would like to do is, before I start putting my matrix in the calculator, I'm going to first decide what are the row operations I need to do. Now, we know that I need a 1 here. So if you look through the first column, notice there is a 1 in the second row. So again, in the first step, if you want to do a row switch, this is the best time to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and switch the first row and the second row. So I'm doing switching row 1 and row 2. So that would give me the following matrix. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's row 2 now became row 1. So then we have 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 4. Okay. So this is now what I'm going to be putting into my calculator. All right. So now to put a matrix in the calculator, you'll notice right here above this button, the x equals x to the power -1, it says the word matrix. So we need to go to that screen. So I press second and then matrix. Now I need to input my matrix. So I'm going to come over here to the word edit. And then you could just select where you want your matrix to be. So I want to make it here in the first matrix A. Okay, you have to type in how many rows you want and then how many columns. So this is 3 rows and it has 4 columns. Okay, after that, I just type in this matrix going row by row. So we have 1, enter, 2, enter, 3, enter, 4, enter, and then it just keeps going to the next one when you press enter. Okay, then just check, make sure everything looks good. All right, so now we have our matrix stored in A. So now I'm just gonna go back to the home screen. Now let's see what are the row operations we need. So I'm just gonna move this out of the way. Well, I need, this is my pivot, and I'm going to 0 this out and 0 this out. So there, multiply the first row and add that to the second row to get my new row 2. And then I'm going to multiply something to row 1, add it to row 3 to get my new row 3. All right, so the number I need to multiply to row 1 is going to be the opposite of this number. So if this is 3, I need -3. Here, this is 2, so I need -2. So these are the row operations I'm going to put into my calculator to get the matrix that's going to zero these out. Okay, so let's go back to the matrix screen. So second, matrix. Now I'm going to go to the word math, which has all the different operations stored in it. And then I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to get to the one that's called right here. Oops. Oh, this is multiply row plus. Another way to get to there quickly is that when you come to math, rather than pressing down, because it's the last one, just press up and it'll automatically get you there. So that's faster. All right, so F has the one that we need. It says multiply row plus. This is the one that's going to allow us to do this row operation. So let's go ahead and select it. Now the inputs here are a little strange. Well, first thing you need to put in is what you want your multiplier to be. So it's -3, so I'm going to type in -3. And then this button right here is a comma. So I press this. And then the next step, you have to put the matrix that you want to apply the multiplication to. So you do second matrix, and this time we just have to select our matrix that's already stored. Press enter, and then now I'm gonna put another comma, and now I have to say which rows. So I'm going to be multiplying the -3 to row 1, so I put a 1 here, and then I need to add that to row 2, so I put a 2 here, and I close the parentheses. Now when I press enter, notice it zeroed out that position. So now what I'm going to do is I want to store this matrix into A. So I'm going to replace my previous matrix with this. So see this button down here, it says store, S-T-O with an arrow, that just says store. So click that, and it's saying take this matrix, which is our answer, and now I need to put the matrix A here. So I just go back to second matrix, and I select A, and I press enter. Now A has been stored as this. Now I can repeat the process. The nice thing is once I've done this one time, I can just go up and copy it. To copy it, once you go up, you just have to press enter. Okay, now I copied it, and then I could just change the things I need to change. So I need to change our multiplier to -2. So -2. Again, it's still row 1, but then I have to make this row 3. So then I just put a 3 here. Okay, and then I press enter. Now everything is zeroed out exactly as we wanted. So again, just store. So I'm going to do store, which is right here. And then I'm going to do second matrix, select A. And now I've stored this as my matrix A. Okay, so let's write this down. The reason we're going to write this down is that the next step, we need to do the divide the row. It is possible to do it in a calculator, but I like doing this part manually. So I can move on to my next pivot, which is right here, the -2, but I need this to be a 1 based on the Gauss-Jordan form. So what I have to do is I have to divide all of row 2 by -2. So we're going to be 1/2 times row 2, which essentially means divide all of row 2 by -2. So if I do that, I end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 7/2, 11/2. Okay, so now I'm just going to go into my matrix A and just going to change row 2 manually. I think that's just a simpler method. So go to second matrix, and then I'm going to go to edit, choose my matrix A, and then only thing I need to do is change row 2. So I'm going to do 1. Here I'm going to type in 7/2. And then here I'm going to type in 11/2. Okay, let's go back. And now we can think about the next step. Well, what's the next step? We're here. We need to zero this out. We need to zero this out. So since our pivot is in row 2, we're going to be changing row 1. And here we're going to be changing row 3. So what do I need to multiply to row 2? Well, since this is a 2, it's going to be -2. This is a -1, so it's going to be 1. So now let's go ahead and put these row operations in the calculator. So we could go up here and select this. And then we just need to, okay, so I need to do -2, which I already have written, upon A. The row is going to be 2, and it's going to be added to row 1. Okay, so we got the 0 up there. All right, so now again, store second matrix A. So we stored A. Now repeat the process. So I'm going to scroll up, copy it. This time I need this to be a 1. So I could just delete the negative and put a 1 here. And I need this to be 2. I need to change the last one to be a 3. Press enter. And look, I have a 0 up here and a 0 down here. All right. So we're almost done. Now we need to move to this step where this is going to be our new pivot. But we need to be a 1. To do that, we need to divide everything by negative 1.5. Okay, so if I divide this row by negative 1.5, well, negative 1.5 divided by negative 1.5, that will put a 1 here. And this was going to become a negative 1. So I'm going to go ahead and do that manually. Second, matrix, go to edit. Oh, I forgot to store. Okay, I need to first store this. So store, second, matrix, enter. All right, so now it's stored at A. So now I can go back and edit. All right. So yeah, we're dividing this last row by negative 1.5. That would leave us with 1 here. And then if I divide this by negative 1.5, I'll be left with negative 1. Okay, now let's go back to the home screen. This time, what do I need? I need a 0 here and a 0 here. So let's write that out. So we already changed the matrix, but here, yeah, this one has the correct row. All right. So let's see what we need. We need to 0 this out and 0 this out using row 3. So it's going to be row 3 plus row 1 gives me the new row 1. And then row 3 plus row 2 will give me my new row 2. So row 3 needs to be multiplied by 4. And then here, row 3 needs to be multiplied by negative 3.5. So finally, let's put that into your calculator. Let's go up. Okay, so I first need to put a 4. And then I need to make this one a 3 and this one a 1. Okay, we got the 0. Now just store. And then second matrix, stored it in A. Okay, now the next one is this one. So go back, enter. Okay. All right, so I need more characters here because I'm going to have to put a negative 3.5, but there's only space for 1 character. In those situations, notice above the delete, it says I and S. That just means insert. So I could do second. And this now allows me to put more characters. So now I'm going to use negative 3.5. Okay. And then I make this 3, then make this a 2. All right. So now we have our final matrix. And notice the last column is going to be then our solution set. So the solution is negative 11, 9, and negative 1 for this problem.